Hello, this is Leonie Whiting from Frogfish Cards. I just thought today that I might do something with the new in colours that are coming out in the new 2016-2017 catalogue. I quite like most of these colours. I'm going to miss the old ones, but that's fine. I'll be able to create a whole lot of new stuff with the new colours. So they are called Day for Devon, Emerald Envy, Flirty Flamingo, Peekaboo Peach and Sweet Sugar Plum. So it's going to be exciting to do some new creations in these cute colours. So to press on, we're going to make a card from one of the new stamps out of the 2016-2017 catalogue. It's a Hostess stamp set. It's called Pun Intended. So I thought we might make a little cute card that you could either give to a woman or a man. With that, we're also going to be using today in this stamp, on this card, the Delightful Dahlia stamp. So that's also in the new catalogue, been carried through from the old one. So this is the card that we're making today. So I hope you enjoy the demonstration. To start off with, you're going to require a piece of cardstock, whereas in the sample card I've used the Peekaboo Peach. I'm actually going to use in this one, I'm going to use Emerald Envy, and I'm going to also use 2 pieces of Very Vanilla and a piece of DSP. So the Emerald Envy is at 8 1/4 inch by 5 7/8 of an inch. The Very Vanilla are 3 3/8 of an inch by 5 1/8 of an inch, and 3 7/8 of an inch by 5 5/8 of an inch. And the DSP is 3 5/8 of an inch by 5 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so I'll just put this to one side, and we will proceed in folding our card. As I have stated before, I prefer to use a bone to fold my card. I find it a true fold. Then we are placing it to one side, and we're getting the smaller 2 of the Very Vanilla. So then we're going to use the Dahlia Punch, and we're going to emboss it with heat and stick, and then have dazzling diamonds put over it, because I felt that that looked a bit like the light beams coming through when you turned the light on. It seems to be sparkly and bright, so that's what I'm using the Dahlia for. I've also used my embossing buddy, which takes all the oils from your fingers off the cardstock, so you don't have unnecessarily parts of the cardstock covered that you don't require. So then you don't want to take the Dahlia all the way up to the top of the page. You want to sort of keep it midway down, because you want to be able to allow the light to sit without any sparkle above it. So then you put your Versamark on your cardstock, and then you use your heat and stick powder, and you coat it. And always pack the powder up so that you don't knock it and have fine powder all over your work area, which I have done on the odd occasion. Then you want your heat tool, and I always heat from underneath. Everyone does it their own way, but basically once it turns shiny, then you've heated it enough. Just be careful with the heat and stick, because if you overcook it, it loses its stickiness. I don't know if you can tell or not that has changed. And I'll just repeat myself, just be careful with the heat and stick. If you overcook it, it will lose its stickiness. So you need to just cook it right. Then I'm covering it with the Dazzling Diamonds. As simple as that. And again, you're heating it with the heating tool. Okay, it's as simple as that. You don't have to be too fussy with it. There are a few areas there that didn't cover, but I'm not at all concerned about that. So I'm just going to proceed on. So the next stage is to get some crushed curry and just push the ink pad down into the lid, because we're going to use our aqua painter. And as I've demonstrated before, I like to spritz it, and I'm just going to not go right in the centre, but just out a bit, just to sort of give it a bit of a yellow glow, but only where the glitter is not attached. You don't want to coat your Dazzling Diamonds. You just want to give it a bit of a look that it's a glow of light, a beam of light. So we're just going to roughly go through there like that, nothing too fussy. Then always clean your aqua painter on a piece of scrap paper or paper towel, as I've just done. And I don't want you to clean out the lid of the aqua painter at this stage, because we're going to use the crushed curry again. Now we're going to use the Peekaboo Peach. Again, we're pushing it into the lid and we're spritzing. And we're using our aqua painter just to go around the other edge, outer edge of that yellow, or crushed curry, I should say. So it's just so that it gives a bit of a appearance that it's a glowing light coming from there. Then you need to put your aqua painter away for now. We'll come back to that in a while. Clean out your lid and get rid of the Peekaboo Peach. Then put this aside. So as I've said in my other videos, down beside me I have a box that's got lots of little scraps in it. So I've just grabbed a couple of those pieces of scraps in the Very Vanilla, because we are going to print out the verse and the light, and I'm using black ink to do that. So any black ink that you had is great, whether it be your basic black, whether it be Memento. I actually love Archive black. It seems to be a real true black, but everyone's different and they'll use their own thing. If you get ink on the block, please wipe it off. You don't want it on your cardstock. And then you're just stamping out your light. And then your verse. Okay. So on this particular card, I'm going to use Sorry I'm Not Too Bright as the verse. So then what you need to do is just bring back over your crushed curry and your aqua painter, and just around the very edge of the light put a bit of a yellow haze, just like that. Nothing too drastic, just a little haze of colour. Clean your brush off again, wipe out your lid, and we're done with the crushed curry. Okay, so then we need to fussy cut around this light. Like so. And with the verse, I'm actually using the large oval, which is 1 3/4 of an inch by 7/8 of an inch. Now this has been retired, but you are able to get the same effect from the layering ovals framex dies. So if you are after this oval effect that I'm going to be using today, then that's your alternative to having a punch, is the oval framex. We're also going to be using a punch called Decorative Label. Now I've already punched one out in the Emerald Envy, but just to show you, I've got a bit of scrap basic grey, and it's very easy to use, and this one is still available in the new catalogue. I use it a lot for lots of different applications. So now I'm going to use a little bit of Wink of Stella. It's a bit like an aqua pen or aqua painter, and it's got glitter inside there, and it just gives the paper a bit of a shimmer, and I think with the light that it is appropriate for this page. So I put it on the tag, but also put it on the light bulb itself, just to add a bit of glimmer to it, and so that it makes it look like there's glass around the light and a bit of shine on the verse. So then you are gluing the verse to the tag. Like so. And you are putting that to one side, and on the light bulb I just used a black marker and coloured in the cord. Like so. And then on the back side of that I use dimensionals. Now in the new catalogue we have these new dimensionals that are long strips. They're great for making shaker cards. It's great for applications like this where you've got very fine work that needs to be mounted, and as you can see it's just a very fine straight line. So I'm going to run that from the top of the cord down to wherever it ends on the light, and then I'm just going to, on a sideway motion, not top and bottom, just on a sideway motion, I'm going to chop about 1 centimetre off the top of that cord, and you'll see why I'm going to do that, why I've done that in a while. Now I just want to put some more dimensionals on the bottom of this light globe. These dimensionals are half the width of these new fine lined dimensionals, so to get it at the same height you need to place one on top of the other, like so. And then that is the same height as the fine lined dimensionals. So 2 of the old dimensionals equals 1 of the new fine line dimensional. And just place that over to one side. And now it's just a matter of constructing the card. So we need to go around the DSP with the emerald envy. Sorry, I'm getting myself all tongue-tied. So in order to do that, I just got a dobber, just to show you a different method to some of my other videos. And I'm just going to use the dobber onto the ink and then onto the white edges of the cut DSP, because I absolutely hate white edges. I think they're unfinished and very tacky. I think in some applications they may be required, but for me most of the time I use a dobber or a blender just to take those white edges away. So then we need our other piece of Very Vanilla and some glue, and we're going to attach the glue to the paper and then attach the paper to the Very Vanilla, making sure that there's a nice even border around the outside. Then I am sticking the dahlia and inked paper to the DSP. Because it's been embossed and it's a bit buckled, it's probably better to use a little bit more of the glue. as such, like that. So then I'm going to place my tag here, like that, and then just move it down slightly and make a pencil mark just above that corner there and just above that corner there. And with these little dots that come in the pun intended stamp set, I'm just going to, with the Emerald Envy, make some chain so that it looks like chains coming down from the card. Probably should have done this before I connected it to the card, but that's fine. I'll just put something there to stop it from inking where I don't want it, and then I'm just going to ink it there, put some dots there, and again I'm going to put some dots near where the other pencil mark was, like so. Okay, right, now I'm going to attach this to the actual card itself. And again, make sure that there's a nice border around the outside. Then we're going to take our light glow and take off the dimensional wax paper so that it becomes sticky. And I just want to stick it so that it appears to be hanging in the middle of that glow, like so. And then the piece that we cut off, we actually are going to place at the top of the card, so it appears that the cord is hanging from the ceiling, like so. Then turn your tag's going to be sitting there, like so. So what you need to do is actually turn it up so that that side is on the outside. So when you put your dimensionals on, you're not putting them on the wrong side of the card. So when you turn it back over, they're in the wrong position. Just be mindful of that. It's always best to come up with your own methods, but that's my method. I find if I turn it upside down rather than turning it from side to side, that it stays on the side that I need to dimension, and then I can't make a mistake. And again, you're having to use two dimensionals on top of each other to have the correct height for the tag. And then I just put a bit of glue on each end of that, because the tag's actually going to sit on top of those two, and I just stuck it over the top. Make sure it's nice and neat and tidy. That's it, that's what I wanted. And straight, when it's not. like so. And if you have any excess glue like I do, just dab it off with a bit of paper towel, because there's nothing worse than tackiness. That's a word I use a lot. Please forgive me if it annoys you, but I can't emphasise enough that I don't like tacky work. And that's that. And then all we're doing is, again, I'm going to need that little bit of scrap paper to sit at the top here. And I've got the little love heart, which again is out of the Pun Intended stamp set, and I'm using the green Envy and the Peekaboo Peach. So you're going to need a piece of, or a wet, I'm using a baby wipe just to clean the stamp off in between each of these applications, because we are using two colours. So we're going to start there. And then the next one's going to go there. And you only really need 4 or 5 little hearts. You don't need to get too carried away with it. Something like that. Okie doke. And we are finished. Yet another card. And I think that looks quite effective with the glow of those colours around the light bulb. So thank you again for sharing your time with Frogfish Cards. If there's anything at all that I can do to help you, please let me know on Frogfish Cards, or contact me on my email, which is frog130412@gmail.com. Okay, have a lovely day.